Lisa Hylton, and you are listening to the Passive Investor Show.
The views and opinions provided on this show are for informational purposes only and should not be misinterpreted as an offer to buy or sell any securities or to make or consider any investment or course of action. For more information, please go to PassiveInvestorShow.com. Hey PI listeners, this is John Fortes. I'm making it a point to speak to as many investors as possible. My goal is to position myself to be a blessing to my network through conversation. How could one be a blessing through conversation? The easy answer is by listening. A simple conversation can open many opportunities and doors. I always ask myself this: what do I have to lose by having one more conversation? Going back to high school, I've connected friends and family in my network to one another, even if it didn't benefit me. And I continue those same principles and practices. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. If I can't help you, I probably know someone or something that can probably solve your problem. I'd love for you to become a part of that network. Go to www.johnfortes.com, create your investor profile, and schedule a call. How can I best serve you through conversation? In the words of Clarence the Angel from It's a Wonderful Life, no man is a failure who has friends.
And now, the Passive Investor Show. Here's your host, John Fortes.
Welcome, PI listeners, to the Passive Investor Show. I'm the Passive Investor Consultant, John Fortes, your host of the only ranked podcast for passive investors in multifamily syndications and real estate funds. Our goal and purpose of this show is to be a resource to investors and help them master their passive investments by beating inflation 1% at a time.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this special message.
Hey everyone, if you manage your own rental properties, aren't you looking for a more sufficient way to streamline your to-do list and make the leasing process easier? Apartments.com lets you list your units, screen and receive applications, create leases, collect rent, and track maintenance and expenses, all on the #1 rental network for free. That's right, for free. Apartments.com isn't just for apartments. 29 million monthly visitors visit the site for all types of listings, like single-family homes, duplexes, condos, and townhomes. Renters view these specific listings over 100 million times per month. This valuable exposure and a robust suite of resources are available to you as a landlord for free. And it's all online, so you can access this information anywhere at any time. If you're ready to find the perfect tenant, get started today by listing your units on the #1 rental network. Go to apartments.com/John Fortes. That's apartments.com/John Fortes. Why not take advantage of the free tools right at our fingertips? Go to apartments.com/John Fortes. It's free. Just in case you didn't get enough of Lisa Hylton, we brought her back for one more episode, our infamous Investor 101 Quick Hitter series. Lisa is the host of the Level Up REI Real Estate Investment Podcast and founder of LisaHylton.com, a real estate investment firm. For more information about Lisa, revert back to the previous episode, the long form version. It's great to have you back, Lisa. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me, John. I appreciate it.
No. So we covered some fun topic. We covered the topic of funds in the previous episode, but I wanted to bring you back and ask you one question in regards to how can we leverage the fund for our benefit. So Lisa, the floor is yours.
Awesome. So leveraging funds, I think, wow, we can go on for days, but here are some of the quick hitters in terms of leveraging funds. Number one, you can create a fund as an operator. You can create a fund that enables you to have capital on hand to invest in deals. And that is in a current environment when you need to close deals quickly, it's so important to be able to already have those conversations and that money teed up and lined up in your fund, so that way you're ready to go. The second thing is, you, depending on the type of, investors that you're working with, some of them might even be bankable. So in the institutional space, you can actually take investors that are bankable to the bank, essentially their commitments, their subscription documents, and be able to get a line of credit on their, backed on their commitment. Typically, you'll see this a lot in the institutional space for like very large institutions, because they are credit worthy in and of themselves. So the bank will actually provide a credit line, a line of credit, which then enables the sponsor or the fund manager to go out, use the money to invest in different real estate assets to generate a return long before they actually make a capital call. So that is another way in which you can leverage having a fund. The third way in terms of leveraging having a fund is the diversity that the fund provides. So investors can come in, sort of what I touched on a little bit earlier in the other episode, a variety of different investments. You could have a strategy of value add, and that value add strategy has an umbrella that covers multifamily, self-storage. So a variety of different asset classes can be in your fund, which then enables your investors to diversify their capital across different asset classes, even different regions, potentially different operators to the extent that you're working with different operators. But definitely, if you alone are creating that fund, then it's a variety of different regions. So a lot of diversification, which can help you when a lot of people will come to you and say, oh, like they're investing in REITs, even though REITs are way more, properties are in a typical real estate investment trust. But this enables the real estate syndication space, when they move into real estate funds, to provide that kind of diversification to their investor base. So those are a couple of the things that come to mind in terms of leveraging. I think the last item is what I touched on the last podcast as well, which is, funds also can enable investors to choose what investments they want to invest in, which I think is mind blowing for some people, because it's like, wow, like I can actually choose what investment I want my portion of capital to go into in that particular fund. And it is possible. It's all about the way in which the fund is structured, that then enables it as well. The last thing that I'll talk about as well is the foreign investors. So funds also enable you to bring in foreign investors in your deal without having issues with your American investors, because American investors have different tax implications and requirements than foreign investors, in terms of the foreign investors need to have withholding taxes. So being able to set up those separate different entities can enable them to come in, and based on the way you structure it, certain ways of structuring it can actually help to save them money, to the extent that you have the ability to do that kind of tax structuring. So that's the last item.
No, I was hoping you keep going. So another thing it benefits is you are tapping into the network of the fund manager and their access to particular deals, and those deals generate that diversification of the fund. So that's also an advantage of the fund. So, and that's the way to leverage a fund. And you summed it up really well.
Yes.
You have any more you want to expand on? Or are we good there?
Well, I guess just to touch on that last item, it's time, So for a lot of busy professionals, busy business owners, people are building businesses, their businesses are generating a ton of cash flow. Like being able to get access to these types of real estate funds, which is distinctively different from investing in a REIT, because we're still doing that cost segregation study on those properties, which then enables our investors to get the tax benefits of depreciation expense, something that is not passed down to investors of REIT because they're investing in a company versus investing into real estate via these real estate funds. So that's something else to also consider as well as a really good way to that investors are able to leverage, as you said, the experience of the operator to then get exposure into a variety of different assets.
Now, thank you for cleaning that up. I was going to actually touch on that as well. So you hit it on the head. Lisa, how can we stay in touch with you?
Yeah, the best place to stay in touch with me is my website. It's www.lisahylton.com. And I have a freebie, which is passive investing guide for investing in real estate funds. There we go. So it is lisahylton.com/funds.
Awesome. Go get that, everyone, if you're listening. Also, Lisa, I want to thank you again. Thank you for stopping by the show. We really enjoyed the conversation.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
Don't forget to download your free copy of the investment tracker. It allows you to track up to 5 investments, compare sponsors, markets, and most importantly, projected versus actual returns. To get your copy, go to www.projectedreturns.com. PI listeners, thank you for listening. As always, we hope this was the best resource for your investment strategy, but also the best use of your time. Remember, if this episode helps you, you can help us by leaving a review on iTunes. I hope you feel compelled enough to share it with someone you think this would resonate with as well. As much as it pains us to leave you, but you know what time it is. Time to go put this into practice. Till the next time we meet, happy investing. PI listeners, I'm grateful for your time and I appreciate you for listening. It would mean the world to me if you went to iTunes and left a rating and written review. Let me know how you feel about the show. It really makes a big difference with getting the podcast out there. Don't forget about our Facebook group, where all of our guests are members of. I'll be there to answer any of your questions, or even questions you might have for future guests. Subscribe so you can get the latest episodes and our fan favorite quick hitters. Finally, I want to keep you updated, so head over to johnfortes.com and sign up for the newsletter. If you're interested in partnering with me, sign up on the contact page so you can talk to me directly. I look forward to connecting with you. Happy investing.